Well, this guy scored a D minus. I think with this guy, the best advice I can give you is walk away. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is more likely to talk big than actually go far in his career. While he may speak confidently and make it sound like he has grand plans, his low energy toward work means he won't put in the effort needed to truly succeed. If you want a partner who moves ahead in life, you might find yourself disappointed.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to quietly withdraw than bounce back and try again. He doesn't have much fire in him to fight setbacks or look for solutions. You may see him retreat into his own world rather than leaning on you or taking action.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He's not likely to be very well liked at work. He isn't warm or friendly and might come off as blunt or even a bit rude. He keeps to himself and avoids mixing with others, which can make him seem distant or uninterested.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
He might struggle with your success and not show much pride or happiness for you. Instead of openly supporting or celebrating your achievements, he could quietly withdraw or act distant. If you hope for encouragement from your partner, you may not find it here.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he may quietly feel upset or insecure, although he probably won't say it out loud. Instead of starting arguments, he'll likely pull back and become even more distant. Over time, this silent unease could make things feel lonely between you two.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He isn't very careful with money and tends to spend without much planning. He might buy things just because they look nice or give him pleasure, and there may not be much thought about saving for the future or tracking expenses. If you want financial stability or someone who helps manage money wisely, he may not be your ideal choice.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He often tries to look richer than he really is. He likes beautiful things and may spend on stylish clothes, fancy outings, or things that make him seem more well off. This can lead to financial problems or stress over time.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't very open handed or kind with money or his attitude. Instead of giving freely or showing support, He tends to keep things for himself and doesn't easily share, whether it's his time, money, or warm words. If you want thoughtfulness and open heartedness, you may not find it here.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive about money than open and honest. He doesn't like talking about his finances and may hide spending or avoid sharing the full picture. If you want a partner who talks openly about money and works together as a team, he may not give you that comfort.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe that housework is mostly your job rather than something to be shared. He doesn't put much effort into daily chores himself, and he rarely steps up to help without being asked, if at all. Even if he enjoys a comfortable, beautiful home, he's not eager to contribute to the work needed to keep it that way.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to stand on the sidelines and watch rather than actually pitch in with chores or baby care. You might find him offering advice or pointing out what needs to be done, but rarely rolling up his sleeves to do the work himself. He prefers comfort and avoids messy or routine tasks.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's not very good at understanding your side or showing real interest in how you feel. Instead of having open conversations or trying to see things from your point of view, he usually stays quiet or pulls away. He doesn't often argue just to prove he's right, but he also doesn't put in the effort to connect or fix things together.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he usually stays quiet rather than saying hurtful things or acting aggressive. He doesn't lash out or raise his voice. Instead, he tends to pull back, avoid talking, or go off on his own. You might notice he shuts down or ignores you instead of starting a fight.
Does he have a bad temper?
He isn't the sort who gets angry quickly. Most of the time, he keeps his feelings inside and doesn't show big bursts of temper. You won't see him shouting or losing his cool out of nowhere.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He usually finds it hard to say sorry or take responsibility for his actions. Instead of admitting mistakes or making amends, he may go silent, ignore the issue, or quietly hope it goes away. He's not quick to blame you openly, but he also doesn't step up to fix things or talk things through.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He's not pushy or aggressive, so he's unlikely to ignore your boundaries openly. If you say no, he may quietly accept it without making a fuss or pressuring you. He will respect your no, but he won't always give you the warmth or reassurance you may need afterwards.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
He's not likely to take it very personally or start a fight if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead, he may just pull back quietly and not say much about it. If you want warmth and understanding in these situations, you may find yourself missing that here.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You can generally trust him not to use private moments to hurt or embarrass you later. He doesn't tend to share personal matters or try to get back at you by bringing up sensitive things. Instead, he usually keeps things to himself and avoids drama or revenge.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He's not very enthusiastic or lively, so he's less likely to be chasing after other women or flirting openly. He mostly keeps to himself and doesn't seek attention from others, which means he isn't easily distracted when it comes to relationships. You probably wouldn't have to worry much about him cheating or looking elsewhere. His quiet, withdrawn nature keeps him focused on what he has.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He's not the type to be overpossessive, jealous, or controlling. He mostly keeps to himself and doesn't show much interest in monitoring your every move or questioning your friendships. Instead of acting suspicious or making rules, he tends to be withdrawn and prefers his own space.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature isn't likely to be a sign of a controlling personality. In fact, he doesn't show much of that strong, watchful behavior at all. His style is more about staying in his own bubble than hovering over you or trying to direct your life.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He isn't someone who naturally shares daily duties or steps up for tough moments with the kids. You might find yourself taking care of almost everything while he watches from the sidelines.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he usually stays calm and doesn't lose his temper. He's not the type to yell, scold harshly, or make a big scene. Instead, he's more likely to quietly pull back and let the moment pass without much reaction at all.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He isn't likely to actively support your role as both a mother and your own person. He tends to focus on his own world and doesn't offer much encouragement or help, whether it's with parenting or your personal goals and needs. You may find that he doesn't stand in your way, but he also won't step in to cheer you on or lighten your load.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
He's not the type to openly support your career now and then later demand you quit after having a child. From the start, he tends to stay distant from your work life and doesn't get deeply involved or push any strong opinions. He won't stand in your way, but he also won't be your biggest cheerleader or help you balance work and motherhood.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is unlikely to show real warmth to your parents. Instead, he might keep things distant and may not even put much effort into being polite on the surface. Your parents may feel that he's reserved or uninterested rather than a friendly or supportive part of the family. He's unlikely to make much effort to adjust to your family.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly, but not necessarily help find a solution. He's not the type to get angry or argue, so things won't blow up because of him. His calmness won't make things worse, but it may not make things better either.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He isn't the type to talk much about how you should behave, whether modern or traditional. He generally keeps to himself and doesn't push strong ideas about your role, either in private or around his relatives. Since he won't defend your choices or help you set your own style, you might end up adapting to please his family, even if he doesn't ask for it directly.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than support you or side with his family. He doesn't have the habit of stepping in to defend you, offer comfort, or help settle the situation. Instead, he tends to pull back and avoid getting involved in family problems, leaving you to manage things on your own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He isn't a typical mummy's boy who always runs to his mother or puts her above you, but he's also not the type to clearly choose your side in a conflict. Instead, he will likely avoid taking sides altogether. He won't argue with you or his mother, but don't expect him to step up and support you either.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He's not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. Instead, he keeps things to himself and doesn't open up much even to those close to him. This means your personal matters are safe from being discussed with his family.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, all in all, not looking that great. This guy scores a D minus. As I mentioned at the start, I think with such guys, the best way is to walk away. Day in and day out, being in a relationship with this man can feel lonely and one sided. He keeps to himself, avoids deep talks, and rarely shows affection or support, whether at home or with your family.